Okay, welcome to the weekly shir of the Zer Shimshon. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't get this out Erev Shabbos. I was sitting here ready to do it, and I heard the music go off. We have in Yerushalayim, they played music about 15, 20 minutes before the regular sirens go off. And, of course, they're Makabel Shabbos 40 minutes before the Shkia, like the Reim. So I said to myself, uh-oh, what time is it Shkia? What time is candle lighting here? So I looked on the clock and I said, nope. So I got to help my wife. Sorry, folks. So I'll do this today on Sunday. So here we are in Parshas Noach. And it's a very interesting piece because it's really applicable to what we're going through right now. So he said, what did he mean with the threats? Okay. Ela told us Noach ish tzadik tamim haya b'dayreisov es ha'elakim his halach Noach. These are the offspring of Noach. Noach was a righteous man, perfect in his generations. Noach walked with God. The Midrash Beishis Rabbah tells us that Noach worked on building the Teva for 120 years. Yes, first planting and then cutting down trees for the boat. People would ask him, what are you doing? Okay, he would plant the trees and then cut them down for the ark. Okay, he would reply, Hashem told me that he will be flooding the world. Oh, they would reply, if he brings a flood, it will be directed onto your house. What? The entire exchange between Noach and his neighbors is bizarre. They knew very well that they were the sinners and that Noach was a tzaddik who did Hashem's will. How could they possibly suggest that Hashem would direct the flood at Noach? The Zohar states that Noach sinned by not davening for the people of his generation and asking Hashem to annul the decree. He was punished by having the flood attributed to him. As it says in Yeshayahu, it's a pasuk, for this is to me as the waters of Noach. It's Mei Noach. Okay. According to this, Noach's neighbors felt that he should have been davening for the world to not be destroyed. And yet, not only he wasn't davening for them, he was building an ark to protect himself from the upcoming flood without concern for their imminent destruction. They therefore felt that he alone deserved to be punished, while the entire world should be saved. Interesting. What an interesting idea. We find a similar idea in Megillas Esther, when Mordechai tells Esther that she should go into the king. Although doing so would be her in her physical danger, Mordechai told Esther that the entire Jewish people was in jeopardy and sacrifices had to be made by the individual on behalf of the klal. In fact, the Gemara in Taanis points out that when a tzibur is suffering, a person should not comfort himself and say, I have enough of my own needs. I don't have to worry about anybody else. If he does that, continues the Gemara, he will not enjoy the consolation of the klal when it comes. Right? We say that the same thing by suffering, like keeping the Tisha B'Av and all the fast days for the Churban. You know, if we don't suffer with the tzibur, with their sorrows, then we will not see their consolation when it comes either. We find a similar idea in Makkos 11a. The mother of the Kohen Gadol used to bring food and drink to the inadvertent murderers stranded in the cities of refuge, so that they wouldn't pray for the Kohen Gadol to die. And the Gemara is implying, according to one pshat, that the reason for those people ended up by killing them by mistake, was because that the reason those people ended up by killing by mistake was a mistake, right? That because the Kohen Gadol didn't pray in advance for the murderers of his generation. This then was what the people were telling Noach. You could have davened for us, but you chose not to. Why then do you imagine that you will survive the catastrophe? And if and when it comes, when you went to your house and said, all is good in my life, while ignoring the spiritual needs of your neighbors, how can you possibly imagine that you too will be saved by Hashem? So says the Zerah Shimshon in Parsha. Now, just an addendum I might add, that, of course, they were totally wrong. They have no righteous way of explaining themselves that they can be saved because even though they're doing so many sins. It goes on and to explain a little bit more that that really Noach had no responsibility to daven for them, because you can pray for just about anybody except for people that are licentious, because that sin trumps everything. Okay, they don't deserve to be prayed for, because they ruin the world. They ruin everything in the world by being licentious. So unfortunately, it's a generation that has full of licentiousness, and that's what they live for. And unfortunately, we can pray as much as we possibly can for everybody to do tshuva from their mistakes. But if it's really a serious and intentional averas, then they don't deserve to be prayed for. It's as simple as that. But we're all praying for the salvation and the recovery of those that got kidnapped, and those that are still over 3,300 people are in the hospital with serious injuries. So everybody and their families should have a refuah shlema, and we should have a quick and speedy end to this destruction of Klal Yisrael. And all the people that are against Klal Yisrael in all over the world may be exterminated. That's all we can say. Thank you very much. Have a good week.